right, traders. Good, good. We are back. Someone asked me what were my price projections, but I was in the midst of explaining that um, I, I'm keeping my target for next year around 85,000, even though I'm starting to believe that can be quite conservative, but I'm going to keep it there for now. Where Bitcoin's going to be in the first quarter, I don't really know. I am hoping downward, believe it or not, but I do believe that if we were to pop up above 29,800 and especially 30,000, that there's a possibility of quickly skipping toward 32, 33, 35-ish. So we're talking 30, 33, 35 in that price area where we could then experience a nice pullback, one that's deeper than we've seen in many months now. I've been waiting for a substantial pullback because this is where I do my best work. We just have not had that. And it's been a little extra challenging for me getting the size that I want because we haven't had substantial pullback. So I'm hoping that we get one, but that's sort of like my guesstimate as to what can happen if we skip, particularly above 29,800 and certainly 30,000. But I mean 29,800 and 30,000, but 29,800 is important. I'll explain to you why. Okay, so guys, as we speak right now, let me see if I can show you this. As we speak right now, Bitcoin is hovering around 29,400, all right, more or less 395 or what have you, but more or less 29,400. And let me see if I can show you this. And what you see here is you see Bitcoin consolidating. Now, what I want to show you specifically is that on any little micro decline, guys, this is a 1 hour chart. So on any little dip, even on a 1 hour chart, I want you to see the buying that just rushes into this thing. You can notice that by the tails on the chart, you see? So you can notice that by the tails that shoot up, you see? That this is a key sign that there is so much institutional buying waiting under the market that not even the smallest of pullbacks can really gain any momentum whatsoever. So we've been experiencing this for months, that there has been no serious pullback of import for months. And it's the strongest sign that you have institutional adoption occurring at such a rate now that it's possible we may not see any substantial declines for the foreseeable future. This is possible. You know, a lot of sophisticated players understand the psychological nature of whole numbers. 30,000 is a major whole number. It's not like 24,000, which is a whole number, or 22,000 or 27,000. 30,000 is in the tens. It's, you know, so these 10 numbers, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, they have far more significance. And 30,000 is one of those really major numbers. So it's natural that you see that you're going to have a lot of the short-term oriented players trying to play some short-term gain on the short side right before that round number. All right. What I'm saying is that if we break through that, and this is why you see Bitcoin consolidating now, right up against that. If we break through that, cover those shorts right away at the move, especially breaks through 30,000 strongly, could take this thing up to 30, 33,000, 34, even 35,000 like that. You understand? I say all of this to make you understand that I hope that we get a pullback before breaking through 30,000. But from what I see on this chart, from what I've seen for months, that the institutional adoption is so heavy that major pullbacks are unlikely at this point, which is why I don't want you fooling around for change. You know, we're playing this for the longer view. It's not going to matter in the future whether you got 27 or 29,000. That's pennies compared to the potential of where this can go. I want you to imagine, this resonates with me so much because I used to, during Christmas time, take the horse rides around Central Park and look at all of the wealthy real estate surrounding Central Park. I mean, we're talking real estate in the trillions of dollars, right? This is the type of real estate that almost never gets on the market. Now, listen, imagine the families who own that real estate today. And if you were to ask these families that own the real estate around Central Park in Manhattan, right? If you were to say, wow, this is amazing. You know, how did you all get your money? You live so well. And they would say, well, they would say something like, well, my great grandfather bought a city block here in Manhattan back in the 1700s, or my great great grandfather bought this little square piece of land in the 1700s, and, you know, Central Park formed there, whatever, and, you know, that's how we got our money. And they said, oh, wow. And you were to ask, so, wow, so did you guys ever sell it? And they're like, no, we still own it. Guys, Bitcoin is like the Manhattan property in cyberspace. You don't sell this. Each Bitcoin is like a city block in frickin' Manhattan. I mean, barring this year, and you know that's going to be reversed, but it's like if you own a city block in Manhattan, you don't sell. You might borrow against it. You might finance it. You do not sell a city block in Manhattan. And this is like the city block in Manhattan. And the beautiful thing is that we get the opportunity to front run the big money for the first time. We are here before the big money rushes in and wants Manhattan cyber property. They're starting now, but they're only starting. We're here first. And so think of us being in the 1700s, having the opportunity to grab some Manhattan property. The world's not used to this. There's only a few times that opportunities like this that fit into this category come. I believe we have one. And what do I mean by that? This concept of a legacy play. You can count on one hand how many times a legacy play has come across the world's path. This is one of them, in my opinion. A legacy play is you get into it. You do not worry about what the number is now, because from a legacy play's point of view, it's zero. 30,000 is like zero. It's like getting in at zero. And guys, this is from someone who put my first buy into Bitcoin on March 12th. under $4,000. You understand? I am still buying because I believe the price is still zero. A legacy play you don't sell. A legacy play is not a trade. A legacy play is that once in a lifetime where immigrants came over to America and the government gave certain immigrants the right to do a land grab. That's where the term stake your claim came into play, where they would line you up on a line and say, okay, you've got 5 minutes. Now run. And as long as no matter where you ended your run at the end of 5 minutes, you took this stake, this wooden piece of wood called a stake, and you put it in the ground when the whistle went off. Boom, you put your stake in the ground when the whistle went off at 5 minutes, and from where you started to where you put the stake in the ground was your property. This is where many of today's wealthiest people in America came from, these runs, these opportunistic opportunities to just run for 5 minutes and put a stake in the ground. And today, they still have that legacy trade. This is our opportunity to put a stake in the cyberspace ground for something that will not be available in the future. The same property these people ran for over 100 years ago, that will never be available again. Never, ever. Do you understand? Not in your lifetime, not in my lifetime. It will never be available again. This property that we're putting our stake in the ground in the 20,000s, you will never be able to put your stake in the ground at 20,000 again, ever in the history of the world, if I'm right. So I am fighting to force you to stop thinking about price right now. Stop trying to think that you missed it. Stop trying to think that you need to search for a new opportunity with a lower price. This price is still zero, if I'm right. Now you're here because you think I'm right more than often. So let's go with this thing. Now, what are some of the risks? Because, guys, as I put a little piece of what I've worked for over the past almost 40 years, as I put more and more of that in this, I constantly live with the idea, the thought, the possibility of the risks, okay? And one of those things that I live with, what risks haunt me? I won't say they haunt me, but what keeps nagging at me? There's the regulatory risk, which I believe is regarded as the biggest risk of all. What if governments begin to increasingly see this as a threat, Oliver? What if Bitcoin continues to grow? Right now, it's still a baby. If it continues to grow, it's not a baby and becomes more of a nuisance. What about governments around the world banning it? And my answer to that, the conclusion I've come to is that too late. Can't do it. To kill Bitcoin after 2 years, yes. To kill it when it was a $1 billion entity, that's like a flea. To get rid of it before it gained traction, to get rid of it before it became a global brand. Do you understand that there is very few brands that are known all over the world. You can say Bitcoin in any country in the world today, and someone will have heard about it. They may not understand it, but it's a very short period of time that this has become a global brand. It has infiltrated itself into every single country, every single community. And now, with institutional adoption coming into this space at a rate that would make your mind spin at this particular point, it's impossible. And another reason why it's impossible is that today, the country that bans Bitcoin will place themselves at such a disadvantage to any other country out there who says, come over here, we adopt it. It has gone too far to ban. You either embrace it or you get frickin' run over. And this is how I've rationalized the number one risk out of Bitcoin. It's too late. You can't kill the internet, because you kill the internet, you kill your whole economy. And if you can't kill the internet, you can't kill Bitcoin. Technology has been disrupting businesses one by one for the last several decades. Technology has uprooted the oil industry, starting from Standard Oil, the great Rockefeller. Technology has disrupted the way we farm our food. Technology has taken over and completely revolutionized the way we travel. We used to travel by horse and buggy. The technology has infiltrated every part of our lives and has revolutionized industry after industry after industry. Technology is the fastest force in the universe right now. And it is changing, it is causing change to occur faster than any other force in the universe. Technology is the most powerful and the fastest force in the universe. And it is changing everything about your life, about the lives of businesses and industries and every walk of life around the world. The last industry is money. Money has been untouched. Monetary systems around the world have insulated themselves against this technological force, but no more. The game is over. It's done. It's finished. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. Finally, technology has arrived at the doorstep of politically controlled money. And like it has taken over every other industry in the past, this one's going down too. And we are here to take advantage of it at the beginning. It's not going to happen overnight, but little by little, day by day, quarter by quarter, year by year, it's taking over. And we are fortunate enough to be here at the start. There will be a day, if I'm right, where people won't believe that you were here this early. And that's how I'm playing this. So I know some of you might have a hard time wrapping your mind around a legacy asset. And I get it. We've been indoctrinated to believe that the legacy asset is dollars. So you're not concerned when you have dollars in your bank account or dollars under your mattress. You're not concerned, but you should be. We're not concerned because we've been indoctrinated to believe that is the legacy asset. Dollars in your home, in the drawer, under the mattress, in your bank account, and I'm safe, but we're not safe. And I'm betting that the new legacy asset is not dollars. That's not where we're safe. We're safe when we're holding the product of our effort, because that's where your dollars come from. You put effort out into the world and you get dollars back. We're going to put the product of our effort into Bitcoin. And if history's any guide, it will protect the value of the energy we've put out into the world and the gain that we've gotten because of that. Dollars, which we've been convinced those are a safety net, they're failing us. I'm losing 15 to 26% of my purchasing value a year. That's what I'm losing. If I stay with all the work that I've put into accumulating what I've done, if I stay like this, in 10 years, it'll be worth 20% of what it is now. I'll only be able to buy 20% of what I'm able to buy today. So what does that mean? Should I just buy a whole bunch of stuff because I can buy more today than I can 10 years from now? Or should I focus on putting into something that will be 8 times, 10 times, 1,000 times more valuable 10 years from now? I owe it to everything I've worked for. I owe it to my family not to sit there and be fooled by this concept that I'm safe because I have a lot of dollars. And that is now turning out to be the biggest lie that we're facing right now. I have to continue to convince you that our store of value now is going to not be dollars. It's not going to be fiat. It's going to be Bitcoin. We're going to spend in dollars. We're going to earn in dollars and switch that shit to Bitcoin as fast as possible. We're going to keep some fiat for everyday living. We're going to keep some fiat for purchasing. But whatever is outside of that, we're going to take that out of fiat and we're putting that in Bitcoin. Now, after that, we're going to invest. We're going to trade. But this has got to be at the core right now of your whole financial existence right now. That's what I'm doing. You pay me to know what I'm doing with my wealth, with my money. This is what I'm doing. With that being said, traders, I want you to understand that I don't want you putting what you need to live on this week and this month into anything. That's not being smart here. All right. We're talking about what you don't need. What's on the side. You understand? We're not talking about putting your rent money, your mortgage, your grocery bill money. I'm not talking about that. You should not be playing with that. Okay? That's the fiat world. We stay there. I'm talking about anything over and beyond that. Okay? So if what you don't need drops by 50%, 40%, we'll just use that. And you'll just keep plugging away and keep transferring a portion over. Just keep transferring a portion over. And this is how you eventually wind up being an owner of Manhattan property decade after decade, generation after generation, by not worrying about the little micro movements from year to year. When you know what you have is valuable, you don't let those things shake you. You use them. That's all. You use them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this here with you. I've told you that the institutional world is coming. They've already begun, but it's still very, very small. We're front running the whole institutional world here. For the first time, one of the first times in history, we're here first. And here's what's coming. Here is what JP Morgan warns is likely to be Bitcoin's price before the end of this year, 2021. And the message is to its institutional clients, we need to act now. So let me show you this. Look at this price. Do you see that? No, let me put you back in here. As you can see, by the end of 2022, they're calling for $650,000 Bitcoin price. That's 2 years. They're calling for a $350 or $380 thousand Bitcoin price by the end of this year. That's one institutional bank giving the message to all of its institutional clients. Let me show you, let's look at Citibank. Citibank executives say Bitcoin will trade at $318,000 of Bitcoin by the end of this year. That's this year. That's months away. 318,000. Oliver Velez says 85,000. Guys, I'm on the low side. I'm the conservative one. I'm not the dreaming. I don't have the dreamy prices. I have the lowball price. Do you understand this? We have the potential of being in a super cycle that even blows these numbers away, that makes those numbers small. And that's because never in the history of Bitcoin's life has there been institutional adoption like this. So I believe that these prices are potentially even off. All right, traders, so there you go. Listen, think real estate. You don't sell valuable real estate, ever. I need you to think that. And I want you to understand why I'm focused so intently on this. Number one, I believe this is going to change your life. And I believe that we have the fastest horse in the game. No matter how I look at this, I can't find something else that even comes close. So why should I be talking you into other things more aggressively than the thing that has the potential to change your life the fastest and the biggest? I would be doing you an injustice. Some of you want to pull me to the smaller things, the things that have a 20% upside potential. I get it. I understand. The things that might be able to double our money. I'm not talking about doubling your money here. I'm talking about 95 times Xing your money. I don't see something else with this potential. So this is why I'm so intent on it right now. This is why I'm almost jamming it down your throats, because I don't believe there's anything that has the potential that this has. We'd be talking about what's second and third rate. And with the market at these lofty levels, I think it's susceptible to a big decline this year. And so I can't put you there aggressively. I can't put you where I'm not going to be aggressively. You understand? But you know where I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive here. And so because of that, this is why it's dominating my talk and dominating my focus. If there was something else, I would be there. I was the same way with Amazon at $7. I begged people, and people had a million questions for me. It's risky, Oliver. Amazon doesn't produce anything. They just sell other people's stuff. They don't make anything. All the good investments, they're producers, they're manufacturers. It doesn't manufacture anything, and it doesn't make money. This is what was told to me at $7. And I begged and I pounded the table. I jammed it down people's throats. They all remember. Almost no one took my lead. It's crazy. I don't want that to be the case this time. All right, traders, there we go. Thanks once again. Woo!